We're going to be taking a look at 1.5b. This is graphs of sine and cosine functions, dealing with the amplitude and period, which we did in 1.5a, and horizontal and vertical shifts. Those are the things that we're going to add to this. So we've got the same functions for general equations that we had when we were looking at these before, except we're going to look at the amplitude, which we already know about as the number in front, the absolute value of a, and the period, the 2 pi divided by b. Those are formulas that we can use in order to find those things. Okay? So really the period gives us the start from the starting point to the ending point. Well, that's really what we're going to be looking at here with a horizontal shift. So I'm going to be moving this thing left and right. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I want to have a horizontal shift. And so really what I want to do is I want to know, how did the start change and how did the end change? Okay, and so where does this go to if I'm moving it? Okay, and so where does it now start and where does it now end? I'm moving it horizontally, left or right. And so the way that I get the starting point is I take bx minus c, and I originally start at 0. So I'm going to set that equal to 0, and after I solve that equation, then that will tell me where my new starting point is. Because I used to start at 0, now I'm going to start at whatever the stuff is on the inside here. And then I'm going to end, I'm going to take that and I'm going to set it equal to 2 pi because I usually start at 0 and end at 2 pi. But now I'm going to do something else to that, and I need to figure out what that is. And so then I'm going to go through and I'm going to solve for that. Well, now the vertical shift has a little bit easier formula. It's just the d part. Okay, and so the vertical shift's going to move this up and down. Okay, and so vertical goes up and down. This is going to change this, moving up and down. So I want to apply the transformations in the following order when I go to graph these. I want to start with my vertical shift. How far up and down did that go? And when I do that, then I'm going to draw in my new x-axis. But that x-axis, we actually call the midline. So we're going to add in the midline. So we're going to draw in the midline. That's where my new midline is going to be, wherever my vertical shift is. Then I'm going to draw my amplitude. So this goes how far up and how far down from the midline. Okay, so my amplitude is going to be the second thing that I draw in. Then I'm going to draw in my period. Okay, and so my period is actually going to go in from my starting point to my ending point. And then I'm going to put in, so this is start and end. And then I'm going to put in my horizontal shift. Where does it move? Okay. So ultimately, when I go through and solve these problems, those are the 4 things that I'm looking for. Okay? I look for vertical shift, amplitude, period, and horizontal shift. And then we'll look at some examples after this.